So I'll be dealing with a relationship. And let me start by defining what is relationship. Relationship is the way in which two or more people or things are connected, or the state of being connected. I say it again, relationship is the way in which two or more people or things are connected, or the state of being connected. The second definition is the state of being connected by blood or marriage. That's why I said this relationship we're teaching has to do with everything. So it's the state of being connected by blood or by relationship. What we're saying, whether it's marriage, is in marriage, whether it's a blood connection, relationship is relationship. Then the final definition I want to give you this evening is the way in which two or more people or groups regard and behave towards each other. Take note of this last one I just gave you now. The way in which two or more people or groups regard and behave towards each other. The way you behave towards me shows me if we're in a relationship or not. Proximity is not relationship, as it were, is how you behave. So you can be very close to me and still be far. Your behavioral pattern will show me if I'm in a relationship with you or not. So beyond being connected, how you behave matters. Now, there are people who are very close to you, that they are close to you makes no meaning. You are not in a relationship with them, because if you check the way they are behaving, you must know who you relate with and who you don't relate. And remember, relationship is not by force, it's by choice. Only a fool relates by force. It's your choice to choose who to relate with and who not to relate with. So that you shake somebody's hand does not mean you're in a relationship. That someone hug you does not mean you're in a relationship. That someone greets you does not mean you're in a relationship. I've been greeted one day by a madman when I was much younger than I am now. I'm still young. When I was much younger than I am, a madman greeted me. I saw him. He gave me his hand with a smile. So as I brought my hand to, I finished shaking him, the guy slapped me. What I had is a tower. And he frowned at first. Then I realized that I thought I met a friend or someone who knew me somewhere and I forgot it. So I shook hands with him, smiling. The guy gave me the thing. That's how some of you are shaking hands with people who are showing you pepe. So what I'm saying is that you see someone close. In fact, that we're in the same church does not mean we're in a relationship. The similar word to this relationship is connection. And that will guide you more. Connection. Well guided. Well guided. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Well guided. Connection. We are connected. There are things that connect us. When we share the same ideas, a whole lot brings that connection. When we're doing the same thing, we may be connected. If we believe, you understand what I'm saying? So there are things that we determine if we're in a relationship or not. That we eat from the same plate does not mean we're in a relationship. That you attended wedding ceremony and they started sharing something. They said, okay, because of this thing is scarce, so we share 2 to 1. That you and that person, or even as I'm talking now, say shake your neighbor. Then you are shaking, and the person is privileged to be your neighbor. Does not make the person does not make the person your friend. It doesn't mean you are in a relationship. But you must understand why this relationship we're teaching is very important. Is because most of the great things that will happen to you in life, in fact, every great thing that will happen to you in life is routed through relationship. Let's even remove that most. Every great thing that must happen to you in life is routed through relationship. So once you lose relationship, you have lost a lot. Even animals have the same rule. You don't just feed every domestic animal you see anywhere. You feed the one that you have a relationship with, either by owning that animal or by being close. If your neighbor has a dog, somehow you can also like the dog. You are not the owner, but when you go out, you buy things for the dog. I've seen someone that loved dogs so much, that when she travels, she buys gifts for dogs. And when she returns, the dogs, you see them, they go crazy. If you try to hug her, they attack you, thinking you are trying to fight her. Some people value their dogs, that you see some people travel with their dogs from one country to another, and they pay business class seats for the dog. Their dog seat in business class. You serve them anything, you serve the dog. There's some people, the way they take care of their dogs, the food they eat, man cannot eat it. And that's why, because of that relationship, they can put their hand in the mouth of the dog. Try it. No, try it. I will never forget a particular time I visited a house. I didn't know there was dog there. When I had the opportunity to visit everywhere, I didn't know they have dog. I was just walking in like a man of God. Then the dog started barking. There's sound I heard. There's some dogs that bark, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's one that just bark once. They keep quiet. Whoa. Is this one barking or lowering? So I had already entered the compound. I advised myself. I walked out of the compound. Then I started hearing some sound coming on the ground. So I locked the gate for them. And I didn't just leave the gate. I heard the gate. Because the way this one was, so aggressive, it seems the dog can open the gate and bounce on me. So I heard the gate. And as I heard the gate, the dog was, shaking the gate, barking, shaking the gate. I heard it very well. And as I heard the gate, I was looking up. Is there any place where he can jump out from? Then I was the one shouting, "Oh, we're going nearby." Many, many years ago. That was when I didn't like dog, Many, many years ago. When I used to be afraid of dogs. No more now. I was shouting, "Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here?" So when I heard somebody's voice, I started calling the name of the dog. And I noticed they started playing. I left the gate. That was how that visitation ended. You understand what I'm saying? But someone came out and started playing with the dog. That same dog you're afraid of, there's someone by relationship that the dog, once the dog sights that person, start waving the tail. That tail the dog is waving is a sign of relationship. So it's the same rule for animals. In fact, you must know that in this life, some wild animals live with people just by relationship, showing them care, showing them love. Wild animals. If you go to some Asian countries, you see where lion lives with people. Some of those animals have been domesticated. That now they can lie, use them like pillows. Even you'll be afraid for them. But for them to allow them live in the same house means they have built a relationship with some of those animals. So it is relationship that makes people don't hurt one another. Anybody that hurts you all the time, claim he's doing relationship with you, is a thief. Even animals understand the rule of the game. When I mean hurting you, I'm not saying, because people make mistake once in a while. Someone is intentional. Someone know you won't like this, is doing it. And they do it all the time, and you still claim to be in relationship. Even animals will know better than you. Animals dogs will bounce on strangers and play with the owners for relationship. Watch this. Even in this world, miracles happen by relationship. Miracles. Pastor, by miracles. Anywhere you see miracles, not once in a while, miracles repeatedly is a sign of relationship of a man and God. What is it that a man shows up, God will show up? Is a man that has spent quality time with God, or that normally spends quality time with God. That's why the man comes to preach. Miracles are happening. That's why the man is declaring something is happening, because there's a relationship between humanity and divinity. When you see miracles happen in a service just by the appearance of one man, it means there's a connection between that man and God. He's not just professing Christianity, he has deep relationship. Paul said that I may know him. What is it that a man will take microphone and sing, and someone blind in the house starts singing? It means there's a fellowship. All of us have the same access with God, but some people have taken advantage of that access. They have built a relationship with God that anywhere they move, power moves. God shows up to tell people, hey, I know that man. I have a fellowship with him. Relationship is so powerful. Oh my goodness. So powerful that when you see God at work, check who is he that carry him there. You see, we have what we call omnipresence that is everywhere. We have what we call concentrated glory. That one, you can't see that one except the one that have relationship, a constant fellowship with God is there. It is called connection of divinity with humanity. It is called the fellowship of a man with God. Let me ask you a question. Why did Jesus come? To tell you how powerful relationship is. Why did Jesus come to die? He only died to restore our relationship with God. To bring us back to relationship and fellowship with God. So what he left heaven for was just to restore relationship. How powerful is relationship? To bring man back to relationship, fellowship with God, is very important that Jesus had to die. So if relationship with God could make Jesus come, it means losing relationship with God was what God called death. Yes, sir. It was separation from God. Because we saw in Genesis chapter 2 verse 17, put it on the screen. Thank you, Lord. Genesis chapter 2 verse 17. Can we read together like my square? 1 to go. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, what happens to you? Thou shalt surely die. And we saw that man still lived physically after God said that. Because after he was removed from the Garden of Eden, man lived on earth. Adam lived 930 years. If you check it by the standard of living of people today, it's like he had like 9 lifetimes. Or even 10. 930. After God said, the day you eat it, you die. How do I know he lived 930 years? Genesis 5:5 captured it. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years. He died. The same man that God said, the day. He didn't say when or after you have eaten. He said, the day. That same day you eat it, you will die. Are you saying that God lied? He really died. So what God called death was to lose relationship with God. That separation is what is called death. Sir, can I apply this to you? There are certain relationships you lose, you die. Leave your pride. You can lose every relationship. There are some you must not lose. There are divine connection. Once you disconnect, you are dead. There are relationships you must not play with. There are some people, when you stay with them, you just be laughing. When you lose them, depression is going to set in. Permit me to say, when you don't know how to manage relationships and keep them, you will live like a dead man while you are alive. Adam died, still living. Your suffering would be much. Can you imagine all Adam went through when he lost that relationship? It was just that he lost the relationship. All the causes, whatever, was as a result of separation with God. Access denied. Suffering entered. It means why those things couldn't touch him was he was in relationship with God. Relationship died. Suffering started. Relationship died. Suffering of Adam started. There are relationships you don't play with. Generally speaking, relationship is everything. Yes, sir. Generally speaking, relationship is everything. If God will bless you, he will pass through a man. Permit me to let you know that God can do without a man, but God cannot do without a man. By his principle. If miracles happen when a man shows up that have relationship with God, even your money is with a man. Your next level is with a man. There is somebody that can sign the back of his complimentary card and give you. You won't know the meaning until the Lord start changing around you. There are people you cannot access them without relationship until they sign the back of their complimentary card. What it means is that any of their protocol that sees it should know that I have relationship with this person and I've given him what it takes to access me at will. Relationship is powerful. The first time I traveled abroad, I worked with somebody, a powerful person in this country, and we went to that particular embassy. They looked at me, no traveling history. This was around 2007. No traveling history. He looked at them and said, I'm going with him. He said, they check their own passport, check their traveling history, and check their level in this country. He said, I'm not giving him visa because of him. I'm giving him visa because of you. When you return, come and show him to me. He said, I will do that. And that's how they stamped the visa for me. Do you realize that in this life, when angel walked with Peter, iron gate opened. But when the angel disappeared, ordinary door, Peter had to knock. Sometimes who walks with you determines the access you have. There are men in your life is an endorsement of certain issues. When they leave you, you understand certain things you enjoy is because of that man. There are friends you have. When they want to see the president or they want to see the governor, just that you are with them, nobody will stop you. Go there alone. So you know that those police and army there, they are not playing. As I'm speaking to you, I don't know who to use to give you example. Do you know if you have a rich friend, he can take you to the highest hotel in this life and ask you to eat? Do you know you won't feel the impact of the expenses? I hope you know. When you finish eating, he will pay. They give him the bill. You are just taking, he said, eat everything. As you are eating, all right, when you are done with the buffet, they just bring him one booklet, well-decorated bill. You know, they put it somewhere, slide it somewhere. He will check and maybe give them a card, and you are enjoying. You don't feel it. It's fun for you, right? Go alone. Only you will be talking to yourself. Sometimes when you order for some things, you tell them, give me price. But when you came with him, you weren't asking for price. It's relationship that paid. Relationship can pay. The first time I drove brand new car in my life was 2006. How many years ago? (2006). I didn't say 2016. 19 years ago was the first time I drove brand new car. When they were bringing the pastor, remember I told them, don't remove the waterproof. Bring it inside. I will remove it in no more. Then I couldn't have near that company. It was in Abuja. They asked me, I want you to change it. How much do you have? I said, not how much do I have, how much do I want to spare? So I said, I need a new car, but this is what I have. They said, okay, no problem, bring it. I gave it to you. So they took me there. So when they mentioned the amount, I screamed. They just say, man of God, take it easy. You are shouting like, the way you are shouting, you are disgracing us. I said, leave that thing. This price is high. So I asked this thing there. I said, no discount. He said, we have discount. I said, what's the discount? He said, everyone that came with you, we give them Coca-Cola. That was the discount. I said, I don't take Coke. He said, okay, you can choose Fanta. And they were begging me. So when the people paid, I was driving the car, but I didn't feel the impact. Because these people paid more than half of the money. So when you saw me drive the brand new car, 2006, some of my mates didn't see that kind of car there. What I was driving wasn't car, it was relationship. You heard Archbishop Emerson talked about how he enters American embassy because of the relationship he had. And when there are people, when they send the invitation, even as you're entering embassy, your step will change. They have not given you, but you will notice that because you know who invited you. As I'm talking to you now, if President Trump sends you an invitation and they send a signal to American embassy, when they ask you to come and collect the visa, how do you go? No, just imagine, let's explain this relationship. Imagine your brother in America wrote you an invitation. And Trump now sent you an invitation. Which one will you like to go with? You won't let me finish asking this question. As you are going with your brother's invitation, even when you go there, from the gate you structure. Even when the visa officer sneezes, you ask, are you calling me sir? But when President Trump give you invitation, there's a way you cross your leg. You won't be sleeping and waking and be praying too much for that movement. Because you believe that relationships are taking care of a whole lot. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? That's what we're saying. Relationship pays bill. There are people, if you are their friends, there are certain things they won't let you suffer if they choose you to be their friend. They will want you to be upgraded to the level. Imagine now that you were eating with a man, dining with a man, and the man became a governor of a state. You don't need to steal to be rich. And you are an engineer, building houses. Immediately you hear that your best friend has become governor, you go and learn how to do road construction. You just need to take jobs and do. Your life has changed for life. So relationship is powerful. Now, having said that, I need to let you know that if you know that relationship is powerful, you must ask yourself, what did the Bible say about relationship? Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 through 12, NIV. We do NIV, we do NLT, we do MSG. Can we run through it very fast? 2 are better than 1 because they have good return for their labor. It's talking about relationship. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Next verse. Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Run through it again in NLT. 2 people are better off than 1, for they can help each other to succeed. So even success can be affected by relationship. Show me who is in your life, I can predict your future. One thing you must be careful of. People, you listen, carefully project yourself to good relationship. There are people that must call you once in a while. There are people, I'm not saying people you have their contact. Contact is different from connection. There are people you have their number, they don't have your own. So even when you are calling, they don't know you are the one calling. And there are individuals who don't pick calls that are not registered in their phone. You must know how to relate with some people. You don't know there are people, you don't call them in the day, you call them in the midnight. There are people you don't send them message in the day because they are too busy. One of our guest speakers stood here and said, me and him will talk around 3 a.m. And my pastors have told you before. 3 a.m. Ask the pastors. That's when I see their messages and reply. You can send a message in the day. That's when I reply. That one is immediate. Carefully project yourself to some relationship. Carefully delete yourself from unprofitable relationship. There's someone you can be relating with, people will tag you a thief. There's someone you'll be relating with, people think you are a Wyoming. But you see, this life, there are people you relate with, people say, okay, if you can relate with this one, then it means this guy is clean, even when you are not clean. So relationship gives you identity. I greet every pastor, exchange pleasantries, but I don't relate with every pastor. Because my relationship will show who I am. So it determines your success. We are still doing NLT. If one falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real. Oh, please help me. Someone who falls alone is what? The trouble is not that you fail. It's that you fail when you're alone. Give me message translation. From 9. From 9. It's better to have a partner than to go it alone. Share the work, share the wealth. Relationship is share the work, share the wealth. So now when you say share the work, share the wealth, it means choose your partner. Because your partner will determine what you share. This Bible is telling you what to share. So while you are making friends, check who you make friend. What will the person share? Because what that person has is what you are going to partake of. And if one falls down, the other helps. But if there is no one to help, tough. I like message translation. Say it tough. Two in bed warm each other alone, you shiver all night. Next verse. By yourself, you are unprotected. Jesus. Being alone, you have no protection. With a friend, you can face the worst. Can you round up a thought? A 3-stranded rope isn't easily snapped. You know the beauty of broom when they are together. Once they are separated, anybody can break them. That's what the Bible is saying. I just want to be alone. I just want to be alone. You don't understand life. My friend, change that mouth. Change that mouth to me. Because you need a friend. No Bible. Let me show you one scripture. Genesis 2:18. I'm not going to go this scripture by direct interpretation. Look at it. And the Lord God said, the Lord is not talking. The Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. If you read down, it's talking about marriage by direct interpretation. But by application, it has to do with everything. What God says is not good. Don't find a way to make it look like it's good. If God says it's bad, it's bad. And you see that Ecclesiastes 4 verse 10, King James will also support what I just said now. King James. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone. Woe. Woe means trouble. The meaning of woe means trouble. Trouble with omnidirectional wave. Trouble that cannot be handled. That's why when prophets are prophesying, they say, woe to you that you have left your place. It's like judgment. What they are saying is that trouble that you cannot understand will overtake you if you're alone. I'm telling you, real problem. Real problem. It's not what happens to you, it's if you're alone. There are people you relate with, they can pay your hospital bill when you don't have money. Because there are sometimes you may lay hand, God will say, let doctors lay it. But you don't have money. You don't know how many persons who have died for lack of money. Diseases and sicknesses that shouldn't kill them just because they don't have. I'll never forget one day, I was in one pharmacy in Lagos. They called Juliana Pharmacy, around Computer Village, on that road. I went to buy something. I don't know what I went. I can't remember what I went to buy, but I noticed one guy came, narrated what he was going through. So they gave him price. He said he doesn't have money. They should reduce it to give. He said, this is what I have. Reduced it to the one. So they reduced many drugs. Hey, I told myself, will this drug work for this guy? So I had to pay the bill. I don't know him. But just being there, I had to pay. Because I understand that people do die. Sonny is upstairs. There's something that breaks my heart every time I remember this situation. Sonny is upstairs. I'm talking about Bishop at the sound. Listen carefully. Someone, when my office used to be in at Oka Street, one guy, we needed to fix some things, so he brought one guy to do medicine work for us. So when he finished, I told Sonny, I said, this is what this guy have done. Pay him, even add this money to him. So he gave the guy the money. The guy was supposed to be happy. So Sonny said, this one I added money for you. My guy said I should add money for you. And I added money for you. I'm not even happy. He said, I'm happy, but I'm not happy. He said, why? He said, because his wife, they don't understand what is happening to the wife. He said, so I asked him, Sonny came to tell me. I said, ask him, what's wrong with the wife? He said the wife took in. And the wife was passing through Ishigate and fell down and used that big tummy against the ground. He said, from that day, he said, Sonny, we went to the hospital. My wife lost the baby. So they said the baby had gone out. But we need to come for evacuation. Because since that time, something they come out for my wife's body. He said we should come for evacuation. The bill they gave us, I cannot pay. He said, this one you give me now, I want to use it to go take care of food and all that. So Sonny asked him, what if you don't have relations? Are there not people? What Sonny was asking, are there not people in a relationship with you? He said, I have nobody. Except, he said, but that my wife, the brothers are all wealthy. But they never supported our marriage. So since I complained to them of what my wife is going through, they only threatened me and said, if anything happened to our sister, we'll come after you. Mumu people. You are waiting for something to happen to your sister, you come after him. What will happen by then? Guess what? That's one of the worst stories I've ever had in my life. So when Sonny told me, I said, where is the wife? He says the wife is in the house. I said, okay. They should tell the wife, he should come with the wife and meet me in the house in the morning. I want to send them to a place where they can go and I'll pay the bill. So Sonny told them, explained to them. In the morning, I waited. Nobody called me. I stayed in the house. Nobody came. I called Sonny around afternoon. I said, Sonny, this is getting to 12 noon. I've not heard from you. I've not heard from your the worker you brought that we talked about. He said, Daddy, I don't know how to call you. He said, when I waited for this guy, I called him. He said, the guy called me and said, Sonny, I don't know what my wife is doing. I don't know what is wrong. My wife know they talk. My wife body know they move. He said, I don't they shake him since night. Help came in the morning. The woman died in the night. Finally, they took that woman to mortuary. And I started feeling guilty. As if I had known, but it was already late in the evening. If I had known, I would have insisted they go to hospital just because of money to do evacuation. And that baby that, died and she had miscarriages as a result of that. Some particles remained in her system and got rotten. And that got her infected. And that was how she died. Even with useless relations of the wife. They lost the sister. Most of the times, it is not the children you have, it's to have a kind child. Kind child. Most of the times, it's not friends you have, all these nonsense friends. It's to have the one that have human sympathy. Ladies, don't marry any man. Marry a man with a kind heart. It doesn't matter how much he has. If he has a good heart, he will take care of you. With your prayer, he will succeed. Amen. Please, while you are trying to marry a wife, find out when you will be mad. Because some of them have demonic heart. But they don't care. I'll soon give you the rules of relationship. What you look out for. And let me tell you, you too should be, not just that you're looking for a kind-hearted man. Are you kind? Because he that wants relationship must be relatable. He that wants a friend must be friendly. Touch your neighbor, say, are you a friend? Unfortunately, many people don't really know how to relate. That's why, listen, when you don't know how to relate, guess what will happen to you? You will meet people now. Look, watch this. You will meet him today. He's a big man. As you meet him now, because you don't know how to relate, you lose him. When you meet this one now, you are now watching what he's doing to. And you say, but I met him before. We know him because you don't know how to relate. That's why you meet great people that should help you, they can't help you. Because there are rules of engagement when it has to do with relationship. Some of you don't get. That's why you are meeting great people that can change your story, but they are not changing yours because you don't know relationship. There's a mindset for relationship. There's a mindset. There are relationships you may not get anything money. Now, see, in my life, I've kept certain relationships. There's some relationships that me they spend. Because I know the rule of engagement. Every relationship is not to give you money. Some may give you connection. Some may speak where it matters about you. Some will mention to you to the king. Because you don't know the rule of engagement. He's stingy. You don't need money in that particular relationship. There's some relationship, they just, all you need is just for people to know that you know him. Finish. Do you know there's some people you know in these states, people will be afraid of you. Just because you know him. So why are you checking how much they are giving you? Because you don't know relationship. There's some people, they are even big men that you're supposed to give them. Just leave a woman, a great woman. Oh my God. Honorable, a great woman in this country. Please sit. A great woman in this country sometime told me, you know what she told me? He said, this man, he mentioned a particular powerful man in this country. He said, he has not given them anything since they started relating with him. He now told me during his birthday what he bought, what she and her husband bought, and what they are doing. He said, the reason why I keep him in my life is because if I have problem in this country and he comes for me, nobody will say they don't know him. There's no office he enters that they will say they don't know him. Even if he makes a call alone, there's no office, nobody in this country that will say they don't know him. He says, so because of it, I just leave. I'm the one spending. The man is richer than them, but they are the ones spending for him. They just want him in their life. There's a mindset to do relationship. That's why I'm coaching you. I've given you scriptures. Unfortunately, many people don't really know how to relate. Oh my God. If you don't know how to relate, it means you are going to suffer from our explanation and from the scripture. So there are people, I call them, you see, for the purpose of this teaching, I call them, they are poor in relationship. Poor in relationship. Tap your neighbor, say, are you poor in relationship? There are people, they are rich in cash, but they are poor in relationship. So when I'm saying poor, don't think about money. Think about poor in relationship. All right? Poor in relationship. It's not only in money that people are poor. People can be poor in management, poor in knowledge, poor in understanding. So you can also be poor in relationship. You see, if you are poor in relationship, you will also be poor in life. Because relationship is how you succeed. If you are limited in relationship, you will also be limited in life. If everything is routed through relationship, you must know how to relate well. Who is a poor person in relationship? It has to do with mindset. He has a wrong mentality when it comes to relationship. So wrong mindset in relationship is what we call a poor man in relationship. Once you have a wrong mindset of relationship, that's what we call a poor man in relationship. Are you enjoying this word feast? So what are those wrong mindset in relationship? How does a poor man in relationship? Remember, when I say poor, I'm talking about poor in relationship. So how does that man think? Number one, the mindset of a poor man in relationship, he believes that God created people for him or her. Number one, it's up to 8 or 9 or 10. As I'm talking now, if it's the way you are thinking, just know you are poor in relationship. That's why you can't keep relationship. He believed that God created people for him and for her. And this particular one, ladies always fall, not fall victim. They are the ones with this mindset more. That God created people for them. The world has left you behind. When they look at you, they believe you were created for them. So they use you when they want, how they want, and where they want. I say it again. People with this mindset, whether male or female, they use you when they want, how they want, and where they want. And one of their characteristics is that they use and dump. They'll be coming close to you when they want something from you. Once they get it, it don't go. That's their characteristics. It's a mentality of use and dump. But a rich man in relationship, see, while a poor man in relationship believes that God created you for them or created people for them, a rich man in relationship believes that God created him for them. Until you correct this mentality, you can't keep friends. Pastor Emma, as I'm looking at you and I'm thinking God created you for me. God created you for me. So I have to use you. I have to use you. After a while, you know that this man does not think good of me. You were cut off from that relationship. Because you know every time I want to use you, it's about you. Do you understand? It's about what I can get from you. It's about what I can collect from you. But see rich man mentality. Rich man in relationship, not in pocket. Rich man in relationship mindset. If two of us are rich in that mindset, I'm thinking God created me for you. And you are thinking God created you for me. So because of it, so what I'm thinking, what's the purpose? What did God bring me to do in your life? So as I'm doing it, you are doing your own. There's balance. And we can't cut off. Once it's one-sided, it's gone. That mentality is why you will hear things. What has he done for me since I know him? It's about what he has done for me. It's not about a rich man in relationship thing. What have I done for him since I met him? Oh my goodness. They seek how you will help them. A rich man mindset think, how will they help you? A poor man seek to collect. A rich man mentality seek to give. That's why everywhere you see such people, they always complain. Since I've been around, what have they done for me? Once you hear them, run, oh. Run, oh. What has he done for me? What has she done for me? The poor man says, what can I collect? The rich man says, what can I give? Listen, we are made for one another. That's why God said to Abraham, I will bless you and I will make you a blessing. So a blessed man is thinking, how can I be a blessing? How can I be a blessing? Every time it's give me. Can I have this? Can I have this? If you like, if you know these people, you can do birthday, including your 100 years birthday, they will never buy you a gift. Because they believe they are the ones that are supposed to be on the receiving end. It's a mindset that makes you to lose relationship. Sometimes you can still be in their life, seeing them, but you don't know you are disconnected. That's why they cannot open up. Because all your life is what you can grab. As I'm talking to you now, check everybody in your life. Their last 3 birthdays, what did you give them? Onye nkuzi. Kedu ihe anyị ga-eme ka anyị wee kete alaeze nke Chineke? Ime otu a. Onye nkuzi si na ya gị ga chọọ gift ị ga-enye ndị gị na ha dị na mma. If there are people in your life that you value so much, for the past 5 years, there's nothing that have left your hand to them. You have poor mindset in relationship. I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying people who are close to you. You are the only one receiving. What have you given? Onye nkuzi. Ka ekwana ihe anyị ga-eme ka ọ dịrị anyị na mma. Ime ụta. Ha ga-echọ ihe ị ga-enye onye ahụ gị na ya dị na mma. So I say, he's a big woman, he's a big man. They are the ones that need more gift. because sometimes there's a level a man gets to, he's always giving. He's always giving. He's always giving. The little you give to him, he will value it. He may still send you a gift on a Christmas, but try and send him something. Even if it's sweet, write a letter. You know something happened? On the 14th of February, I got to my house. I closed work late because we're preparing for Gospel Festival that started, I think, on the 18th. So I got to my house. 2 of my children are in the house and 2 are in school. So one had slept by the time I came. So I discovered they have written. One said, Daddy, come. Let me, the small one, let me. They say she was waiting for me to return and gave me some gift. They even wrote a love letter for me. And inside, they took sweet I brought home. The same sweet I brought home. And wrapped it. By the time I unwrapped them, it was my sweet. They say Angel had gone to bed. That she waited for me and went to bed. But they pointed her own gift. So they made a card for me. That they don't have anything. They don't work. I still pay their school fees. I still take care of their clothing. They are small children. But in their mind, we must give Daddy something. On my birthday, all of them will give me a gift. Before my birthday, I was speaking with Princess, the one in school. He said, Daddy, I know your birthday is next week. So today is our calling day. I want to wish you happy birthday. How come you have no remembrance of some people you are relating with, even in your office? That's your boss in the office. How come you don't know their birthday? There's a man, one of the people that rule this state, he has left office. And I got to know that last week was his birthday. So immediately I finished my prayer early morning, and I was coming. I used to send him birthday messages every of his birthday. So as I go, I said, no, so that it will not look like it was because he was in power. So I drafted a good message and sent to him. If you see his response, he said, Chai, my reverend. And I understand the meaning. What he meant is, oh, you still remember me even now I'm not in the office. And let me tell you, because he's not in the office does not mean you should forget him, because you do not know how table can turn. So you relate when they are up and when you think they are down. When you think they are down. Not like that they are down. When you think they are down. Because our present governor, 2015, he couldn't win. 2019, I don't even think no a second. Okay, third. And can I tell you something? Me and him, we started talking since 2015. Through my friend Uche Ume, honorable. When he was, whether his campaign, whatever. That first time he came to church, he said, can I give you my number again? I said, I have it, sir. This life. Listen, you see that person that sits close to you every time in church? Take it easy the way you abuse him. There are wives of senators seated here. There are CEOs seated here. There are top government officials. I'm not talking about those who are already there now. Because we have some of them who are already there. There's some of them that they look unassuming. But in the next 2 years, you will feel bad if you don't treat them well. I know one rich man, the day he met me, came with Nick and bedroom slippers. He didn't make me to look down on him. Another poor mindset. I can stay with this. Another poor mindset. Oh, my time is... Okay, I'll just give you one. Next week I continue. Because my time is up. Another poor mindset. Or poor people in relationship. A poor man in relationship thinks of his or her qualification as why you must serve him or do him good. So he thinks of his qualification. I have money, so everybody must serve me. Everybody must do me good. Men are always having this problem. Ladies too. The way you treat them is based on one qualification they think they have. Do you know who I am? I'm a professor. Do you know who I am? How dare you talk to me like that? Then when that problem enters a woman's head, what she's remembering is that you should treat her with honor because of her pointed nose. Do you know who I am? She has checked herself. Her skin is like a mirror. She had checked herself and said, do you know this shape? Do you know what it means for me to have this shape? I do running. Can you see my tummy is very flat? You want honor. Some of them, even when they are married, just because, oh my goodness, just because they move in their office and there are people who appreciate them in their office, that's why they feel their husband should bow and let them march on him and go. The people in the office, that if you go to their house, it's because they are seeing you from afar. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Because you never know man. I mean, when no man, I mean, they tell you. All those sweet, sweet names, it's just because they never know you well. They're working like this. They're working like that's the reason why you believe everybody must stand up and say, what? So if they become your friends, they look at you like a lesser mortal. They treat you like you are nobody. So you must serve them because of one qualification or the other. And life, leadership and relationship is not measured by how many persons who serve you. It's measured by people you serve. So you serve them in everything. They can sit there, get me water, get me food, get me that. Even when they marry, young lady, you want a man that will serve you tea on bed. Cook for you. What will you do for him? When they ask you, say, what did you bring to the table? You say, I am the table. They will soon break you as a table. Do you know my certificate? What is certificate? Certificate that is not equal to money. Each certificate, I actually go here and there. Certificate that I cannot bring even 1 billion. Oga, humble yourself, sir. Oga, humble yourself. You are not the only one that have attended that height. Not be today. Stop making it look like everybody should be bowing because of one qualification or the other. In relationship, we serve one another. As you are moving, one is holding your towel, one is holding your bag. One day they will poo-poo for you. That's the truth. As you are moving, I get crew. That's your mindset. As you get into your office where you work, everybody must just be celebrating you. So even the day one of them will have fun area, you're angry. Yeah, because everyone something tells you, must serve you. I'm not saying you don't honor those who are in the place of honor. Are you with me? If you, you see me now, the way I was relating with Morris Papoma when he came. Serving completely. 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 When he came here, he was in VIP before he entered here. All the things I was saying, I knelt down to say it. If you like, be angry. That's your business. I couldn't stand to talk to him. I knelt down to talk to him. Yes, sir. But listen, you must have this mentality. In relationship, don't seek those who will serve you. Seek those you will serve. If husband and wife thinks, how can I serve this my wife? How can she serve? And she's thinking, how can I serve my husband? There'll be peace. I said, get me water, get me this, get me that. One day you get me water. It didn't end a bit. Get me water. Honey, I met one woman, Yana Diano. I was shocked. I felt offended for the man. Oh, yes. Honey, wait a minute, Papa. Honey, wait a minute. What? Get one kagunga again with it. I was calling the man, honey, turning the man to a servant. What kind of marriage is that? And when we were discussing something, the man wanted to say she was the one talking. She was doing the talking. And after a while, the man wanted to put mouth. He said, honey, wait. The wood not marry the man, honey, wait. And after a while, when the man wanted to say something, he said, honey, if you don't let me talk now, I will keep quiet. Get crazy and honey. These are people who, somebody came to complain of their family problem. Not like they have problem. But the woman was the one doing the talking. One sat down like this. Lay sweet. No need to table VVIP. Lay sweet. He touched the wife. He said, darling, we take room sweet. And the sweet was closer to her. Instead of you, the woman, to take sweet and give to your husband. He said, darling, we take room sweet. Oh, now listen. I knew it that day that my prayer wouldn't help them. Yeah. You know what? When he sent the man, I thought it was just maybe. My spirit now started picking something. When she opened the sweet and licked, she gave back the man to trash them. So I'm in my office. And they came for marital settlement problem. I just told them, kneel down, they knelt down. I said, Father, help these ones, because even me, I cannot help them. Rise to your feet, let's close.